Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Obadiah is the shortest book in the Old Testament, and it's a book that's occupied with basically just one topic, and that is with the topic of Edom and the punishment that would be brought against Edom. Edom had very much mistreated the people of God, the Israelites, more particular Judah, where they did basically three things against them. And this is found in verses 10 through 14. One, they stood back and watched them be attacked by the enemy. Two, they looked with triumph over them in the day of their destruction. And then thirdly, they stood back, and anyone who escaped from the battle, they cut them down and basically killed anyone who might have survived from the attack. And so they had severely mistreated the people of Judah. And it's important for us to understand that this isn't just one nation that's hostile against another nation. These were blood relatives. This is brought out in verse 12 where it says, "Do not look on your brother's day with triumph." Here the Lord indicating and bringing out the fact that they were blood relatives. They were brothers, these two nations were. And this traces back, of course, to the book of Genesis, where you had Jacob and Esau, who were brothers, and there was a lot of hostility between the two. At one point, Esau sells his birthright to Jacob in chapter 25 of Genesis, and that's when his name is changed to Edom. That's contained in verse 30 of Genesis 25, where it says, "Then Esau said to Jacob, 'Please give me a swallow from the red stuff, this red stuff, for I am famished.' Therefore his name was called Edom." And of course, the Edomites then, from that point on, are connected to Esau. They are his descendants. And so they are blood relatives with one another. And here you find, centuries later, them still at each other's throat. In Genesis, it seems like Jacob and Esau kind of made amends. They seem to have come together. Esau seemed to have forgiven Jacob of what he had done against him, and both tricking him out of his birthright and also tricking him out of his blessing. They seem to kind of come together, but that doesn't mean that the hostility had ended for their descendants. It might very well be the case that Esau might have said a lot of things about Jacob to his family in connection to what Jacob had done to him. Esau might have very much badmouthed Jacob while his children were growing up. And then, of course, by the time that Esau had made amends with Jacob, or they had reconciled the relationship, it might be that that hostility was still present within his children and was handed down from generation to generation. Of course, we don't know for sure how this happened, how the hostility continued on, but in some way it did. And it seems to be tracing back to the hostility that was originally found in Jacob and Esau. And so what this does for us is it gives us a chance to kind of reflect on our own family relationships, because it shows just how bad it can get whenever family members can't get together and can't get along, and especially when family members badmouth other family members and cause a hostile situation. And it's a bad situation because not just because the family members that are alive today have a rough time and they can't get along, and there's a separation or division in the family. That's bad enough. But you got to look down also many generations from now, and we might even say many centuries from now. Those kids, those grandkids, those great-grandkids, whoever it might be in the future generations, they will be affected by how we handle our family relationships today. Now, we see that with, of course, Israel and Edom, and we see it all the time in our current day of age, we have to be very careful the way that we handle our family relationships. And we have to basically implement what we're taught in Romans chapter 12, insofar as it is in our power or in our control. we are to live at peace with all people, and we want to make peace with our family members. We want to get along with our family members to the best that we can, not only for our sake, but for our children's sake and future generations' sake. And it's important for us to maintain those relationships to the extent that we can. And that's important for us to really remember as, you know, the fall season is coming and there's a lot of holidays, a lot of which involve family gatherings and stuff. It might be a good time for us before we enter into that season to kind of think about that. Think about our family relationships. Where can we mend certain relationships? When can we, or where can we make things right? How can we bring about reconciliation in our families so that we don't cause issues and problems that will extend far beyond our lives? Very important thing for us to consider. So hopefully as we read the book of Obadiah, we'll be encouraged to do that. And with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.